Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave. Look at these two beautiful happy cards that I have to share with you. I love both of them, and they are both cards featuring stamp sets that are on the retirement list, which means they're only guaranteed available for a few more days. So you definitely want to check these out. All right, let's get started. We're going to start with this beautiful card first. This features probably one of my all-time favorite sets. It is kind of an oldie but goodie. It's been around a while. This is the set. It's called Jar of Love, and I love this set so much. This is one of my first couple of online classes that I did, and still one of my very favorites. So if you're interested in that class, I'll put a link in the description of this video for that class, but you will not want to miss it. The thing that I love about it is there's so much versatility, and while this set comes with some great flowers and coordinating framelits to work with these jars, there's also so many other things that you probably have in your stamp collection that you can put in these jars to make them fun. Candy, ornaments, little like red and green balls for the holidays, snowflakes, bugs, balloons. There's so many things. Butterflies. You can have butterflies coming out of the jars. So many things you can do with them. Okay, I could go on, but let's make our card. I really like how this card turned out. Now I have to laugh at myself a little. My intention for this card was to do it in very vanilla, but I realized after I'd stamped my flowers on white that I wasn't using vanilla, so I made my card white, my sample white, but I'm going to make my my new card vanilla. Okay, on our video today. So I'm going to start with a half a sheet of crumb cake. Oh my gosh, I wanted to say Coastal Cabana, but I knew in my head that was not right. Okay, so I've got a half a sheet of crumb cake, and then, like I said, I've got a piece of Very Vanilla and a piece of Pool Party. The Very Vanilla is, because I can't even remember, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, and then the Pool Party is, actually, let me verify that that is correct, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Then this is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8 Pool Party. Okay, so we're going to stamp our jar, and for this I'm going to use, I think, a really pretty color combination, kind of, I don't know, soft and pretty. So I've got Pool Party, Soft Suede, Gray Granite, and Crushed Curry. So I'll start with my Gray Granite. I like this because it was kind of a warmer neutral tone, but it was a little darker and richer than crumb cake, which is kind of what I was going for. So I'll take, this is the smallest jar that comes in the stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it right about there. Actually, I don't like that. I'm going to stamp it right about there. I moved it over a little bit so I'd have room to fill out my bouquet on top. Okay, then I'm also going to add in the water, and they actually have a whole stamp just for that. So I'll just stamp this, and of course, photopolymer makes it so easy to just stamp that right through. Next up, I want to stamp my stem up here. So in this stamp set, there is a big, here we go. I moved it. There's a big stamp for these little leafy things, but I don't want that whole stem in here because I'm using my short jar. So what I'm going to do is ink it up with about a 1/2 inch or so of stem inked. You can see the rest is uninked. And then I'm going to stamp this right up here, like so, full strength. Okay, so it's right kind of dead centered. Then I'm going to kind of scooch it over and stamp it off just to fill things in a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to re-ink, but I got to grab some paper to protect my work surface, because what I want to do next is to stamp off, so I can get a even stamped off image on the other side. So I'll ink it up about the same amount, stamp that layer off, and then, like I said, I'll go over here and do the same thing. And now I have that beautiful background, kind of nice and full. All right, I'm also going to take and stamp, and oops, I gotta remount these. I put them away. I got excited. I finished my card and I put everything away, and then I was like, duh, Dina, you gotta shoot the video still. Sometimes that happens. I get a little aggressive in my cleanup. It doesn't happen too often, though. Usually I'm on the other side where I need to clean up more. All right. So on this one, I'm going to use my crushed curry ink pad. And I'm going to stamp on a scrap. And I'll take my solid image and sort of stamp this off. And oops, I got to ink this up better. Sorry. Stamp that off. And then I have a nice light background. And then I'll take the detail image and stamp it right over the top full strength. And you can see you get that great color. So I'll do this. Oops, I didn't stamp that off. Gosh, I'm really struggling. There we go. Luckily, I've got lots of scraps, so it's okay. All right, so I'll stamp these ones full strength right over the top. And isn't that pretty? It's really cute. Now, the other thing that I love about this set, I mean, I really love it, is that it's got the cute little stamen stamp, which I also need to grab because I did put that one away as well. And on this stamen stamp, I'm going to take and stamp that in soft suede right on here. So look at how cute this is. And I mean, look at the difference. Isn't that better with that little stamen in there? I don't know what it is. It just looks awesome. So I've got those. Now I'm going to go ahead and die cut those. Oh, look, I did it ahead of time because I'm so sneaky. So I've die cut myself my flowers here. And I'm just going to arrange them onto my card. So the framelets die cut this little piece. If you've been a watcher of my videos for a long time, you might recall this is the one die I threw away by accident. Actually, if I remember correctly, my daughter might have thrown it away by accident because she was helping me clean up. It was a long time ago. We're talking like 3 or 4 years ago, so it's been a while. So I did actually buy, I have 2 sets of these framelets. That was kind of a painful purchase, I'm not going to lie. But having that extra set of framelets was really kind of handy for cutting out some of the other pieces. So it worked out. Okay, now I'm going to pop these up with some dimensionals. I'm also sort of, oh, here we go. I was going to say, I might be running out of dimensionals. That would be a travesty. I know I have more. They're just not right here. They're in my adhesive drawer. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just put these down onto my jar like so. Then I'll adhere this one without any popping up. Got a little glue on here, and then we'll just kind of tuck that in underneath. So now my jar looks nice, but I want to fill it out a little bit more. So that's where this cute little flower comes into play. I'll take and stamp this a few different times on here, just kind of filling out the jar. And I really like making my jar look a little bit more rounded out, so to speak. Like that. Isn't that nice? Okay, close this up because I'm done with it. I also wanted a really awesome sentiment, and I chose one of the sentiments from the Friendly Expressions stamp set. This is getting retired, and I just can't even wrap my head around it because this is probably my favorite word set. I love the mixture of the scripty and the block letters and the big words because these are such great fonts to use on cards. And this is kind of one of my favorite sentiments in the set too. And it's one of those that I think is probably the most important card to send, but probably the set card we don't maybe send when we should. And what I mean by that is the message is so powerful. And if you know somebody who's struggling, this would be such a good card to send to them. It says, life is tough, but so are you. And anybody who's having trouble in life, whatever it is, I think reaching out to them with a card like this is such a powerful thing. And that is why we do what we do. So I really encourage you, first of all, if you don't have the stamp set, you should so get it. The sentiments are really great in it. There's a congratulations, a happy to know you, life is tough, but so are you. Thanks for all you do. You make me proud. I mean, those are all great wonderful sentiments. And those are the cards we should be sending people, guys. We make these beautiful cards, but I know so many of us don't send cards as often as we should. So I think this, actually, I know exactly who I'm going to send this card to. I hope she's going to like it. All right, so I am tying just a little bow with my braided linen trim, and I'm kind of fraying the ends of this because it'll sort of give it that shabby chic look that this stamp set is so wonderful for. Glue dot that right on here, like so, and that looks fantastic. I'm going to do one more touch to this because I think it'll be perfect, and that is I'm going to take my soft suede marker and just do a little spritzing. And get rid of this so I don't go too crazy, but we'll just spritz right on there. And one more. There we go. All right, so you can see those little spritz marks, and I think that looks fantastic. Now, all that I need to do to finish this card up is layer it up onto my pool party panel. And if you've forgotten any of those dimensions I mentioned or want any of the supplies, there's links to a blog post that has all that information typed out for you, as well as links to my online store so you can purchase any of these things. And oops, I actually was supposed to pop this up on my card, but that's okay. And there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, our next card is also so fun. It's really easy too. Let me bring my sample back in for you. This is a cute thank you card. This is like for somebody who's so sweet. I love it. And this is featuring the stamp set Lemon Zest, which is also getting retired. We have a punch that will punch out the lemon and the 2 leaves, and then our 1 3/4 inch punch will punch out the lemon slice. So I'm going to take and make kind of, I think, a fun, happy card with this stamp set featuring my favorite color, which is Coastal Cabana. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to fold my card in half. Again, this is Coastal Cabana. And then I am going to take and stamp on some scrap paper my little lemon in some, let's see what happened to my ink, in some Daffodil Delight ink. Ooh, it's gone. What happened to it? Oh, I just have it sitting here next to me, so it'll be ready. So I've got Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, and Coastal Cabana, a very happy color combination. So I'll start with my Daffodil Delight. Now, when I work with my punch, this is the punch, on the back side, I can see that the wider end of the lemon is at the top and the narrower end is at the bottom. So I'm going to stamp that wider end pointing up. Additionally, I can see that if I stamp it on this side, I'm going to waste away some of the leaves. So I'm going to stamp it over on this side. Okay. And that way it's out of the way and I don't waste as much paper when I punch. Let me show you what I mean by that. If I punched it over here, I'm going to punch out all of this and then waste a lot of my scrap. But if I do it over here, I'm not going to waste much. And I could, if I was a teeny bit more careful, I could have gotten 2 lemons out of this little scrap of paper. Okay, but now I've got plenty of room over here to do my leaves if I wanted, or whatever. Or wonder if I have enough room for my slice. No, not quite. Okay, I'm also going to take and stamp my lemon slice twice. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up and stamp it once, full strength, and then I'm going to stamp it a second time, stamped off, because I'm going to punch both of these out. Now to do this, I'm going to use my 1 1/2 inch and my 1 3/4. So the 1 3/4 is going to punch out the whole lemon, like so. And by the way, this is a retiring punch, which I, again, can't even quite wrap my head around, but whatever. A 1 1/2 inch is going to cut the inside of that slice off. So the rind is not going to get punched, just the lemon insides. Okay. Now when you take these 2 pieces together, we'll glue them together like so. And it doesn't matter how it's lined up, just so they're glued together. Then what I can do is I can use this as a whole slice where the outside is a little darker than the inside. You can also change up the colors like I've done. I've done like a yellow rind and a pink inside, or an orange rind and a pink inside, you know, whatever you want to do. But then if you want a half a slice of lemon, all you got to do is slice that in half, and then look at that. How cute is that? Okay, so let's finish up our card. Actually, let's put it together. So I've got a piece of Whisper White. This one is a little different in size. It is 5 by 3.5. And then I have a 1-inch strip of printed paper. This is from the Brights paper stack that I'm going to take and adhere to the bottom here. Then I'll just trim off that excess. And then over the border between my paper and my card, I'm just going to tie a little knot of ribbon. This is our white classic weave ribbon, which is some of my all-time favorite ribbon. It is also getting retired, and there's not really a simple ribbon like this left. We've got a couple other ribbons that have white, but I really like this ribbon. This is one that's worth stocking up on, to be completely honest. Actually, I have about 8 rolls of it. I'm not going to lie. That's a little excessive, but okay. So I just tied my bow right on here. I'm going to trim this end just because it's a little frayed. Oops. There we go. That's better. All right. So there is my card. Now I want to add my lemon right here, but I want to add a couple of leaves on top of it just to kind of decorate it. So I'll take and stamp those in some Granny Apple Green. Okay. And I'm just going to take and stamp this one that way. And oops, I was going to stamp off the next one. And that way. Oh, no! No, I caught the edge. Okay. So here's what we're going to do with that. This one is kind of a big one to get rid of. So we're just going to improvise here. That's what I actually am fairly good at. Is I'm going to take one more layer of cardstock. I'm going to trim this down so it looks like I have an extra layer. So this will be 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. And it's just going to sit right on top of here. Okay. This, by the way, now this set is older, so it's got kind of a wider base to it, and Stampin' Up! Has really gotten good at kind of taming that base down. So I'll show you one more time. I'll do that. Okay, there we go. I rocked the edge, so I'm just going to be careful, straight up and down. There we go. That looks much better. Then we'll pop this up. See, there's always a solution. You would never even know how badly I messed that up. All right. This picture probably is not going to end up on my blog just because I've already done my blog post, but you'll see the original on my blog post. But now you'll know the difference. Okay, so again, that was 2 1/4 by 4 3/4, and it just kind of layers up perfectly on here. And you will never know the mistake that happened. Sometimes when I see people kind of get down on their mistakes, I remind them, don't worry, nobody is going to know what the sample looked like. So it's okay. It's okay to mess up. All right, so there we go. Now I'll take my lemon slice and just add that over the top. I'm going to put one dimensional in this corner, and then the rest will just kind of sit on the ribbon, and it'll be fine. Look at how cute that is. Now I did all this rigmarole to put this on here, and I should have stamped my thank you just to make sure I didn't mess that up as well. So let me grab my thank you. Once more, I'm using a stamp set that is being retired. And this set, here we go, is called Another Wonderful Year. This is another really great stamp set. It's got a lot of stuff in it. It's a double set. So there's this side, and then there's also this side. This is one of my favorite stamps ever. But there's so many wonderful, wonderful images in here. It's a really great set. And there's nothing, there's nothing really in the new catalog that's replacing this exactly. Okay, so I'm just going to write thank you. Isn't that fun? Such a sweet card. Now I'll go ahead and adhere this to my card base. And now you can see a really awesome layered card. That wasn't necessarily supposed to be like that, but it sure turned out cute, didn't it? So thank you so much for stamping with me today, guys. Of course, if you need any of the supplies to complete these projects, I would so appreciate your business. And don't wait, because these stamp sets are only guaranteed until May 24th, just a couple days away. And I don't want you to miss any of them. The catalog does go until June 3rd. But like I said, stamp sets are only guaranteed for a few extra days. After that, it's while supplies last. And here is our other project as well. Thanks guys for stamping with me. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.